Twilight Sword is a Zelda-themed tabletop RPG by Two Little Mice in partnership with Free League, both game publishers and creators who I have covered pretty exhaustively on this channel. I actually did a first look preview video of Twilight Sword pretty recently, but that was done based entirely on pre-launch materials, and there was nothing revealed about stretch goals or any mid-campaign developments. Well, something happened that I think that a lot of you were probably able to predict, and that is the campaign blossomed into a pretty respectable success. Certainly the biggest that Two Little Mice has accomplished to date, and that has resulted in a lot of new content for the game being unlocked as stretch goals. So in this video, I want to piece together a somewhat more complete picture of this game using the unlocked stretch goals as a guide, and I want to ask your opinion about some of these developments. You can leave those down in the comments. Just as a quick reminder of how this game works, it's a unique D12 system where every time you face a challenge, you choose one of 8 core abilities and roll a D12. If the roll is equal to or lower, then it's a success. A 1 is a critical success, rolling higher than your tested ability is a failure, and 12 is a critical failure. I have to point out again here in this follow-up video, because it's worth noting, how simple and fast this game is aiming to be. If it's going to even come close to emulating the spirit of Zelda and JRPGs of the 80s and 90s, it benefits to have a fast, approachable system. At least that's the thinking here. You also choose 1 or 2 so-called ways, which are basically classes, and you choose from 1 of 5 kin. I didn't catch the artwork for Strix in the last video, but check this out. This is about as early Final Fantasy as you can get right here. One other major hallmark of this game is the shape of the books. They're 21 by 11.5 centimeters, or about 8¼ inches tall by 4½ inches wide, but they open up into a perfect square, and all of the cards for the game are square, such as for the items, monsters, and the map tiles. And if you're a collector type, there are these crowdfund exclusive deluxe slipcases that have laminated foil treatment in spots. The game also has 2 optional boxes. As you might imagine, they're perfectly cubic boxes. The first one being the starter set that comes with basic rules, a mini campaign, and a few map cards, and also these dice, which indicate that you're not going to just be rolling a d12 apparently. So maybe the game isn't quite as dead simple as I thought. The starter set also comes with a bunch of other cards and status tokens and some character sheets. Then there's the card chest, which is a cubic box filled entirely with over 200 cards for monsters, weapons, and maps, as well as a GM screen that I don't think fits in the box. There's also this crowdfund exclusive neoprene map that's like 40 centimeters squared, or a little under 16 inches squared. I'm actually going to call them out a little bit on this map. My understanding of the game is that you discover and uncover the region 1 map card at a time. So it doesn't make immediate sense to me why you'd want to plop down this neoprene map on the table unless players have already uncovered and revealed the entire region. My guess here is that this map is for just personal use, like a desk mat that you put your mouse and keyboard on or something. So the full game, if you go all in, looks kind of like this. There are the core offerings, the books, GM screen, and 2 boxes of stuff, and the neoprene mat, as well as all of these unlocked stretch goals, which will undoubtedly be even more by the time you're watching this, because they keep adding unlocked goals to the project, and I have to just commit to recording this thing at some point. But all right, let's actually get into these stretch goals. Auran font. This is actually a lot of fun. As the GM, you can pretty much type anything up on a computer and change the font to this and have an instant cryptographical puzzle for players. Even cooler is if players end up memorizing the cipher and could read this font fluently. Very cool idea here. Dice pouch. All right, this is looking like a free add-on for the top 2 reward tiers. It looks like a printed cloth job. I know the game is called Twilight Sword, and it's logical to put the name of the game on the bag, but it would also have been cool if they just used one of the icons or symbols from the game instead to create a more esoteric bag that had a magical, more diegetic look. The Aura, this is a new kin, which would make it the 6th available one for the game. From the illustration, it looks sort of like a dark Huma. Champion tokens, 4 tokens for what I assume is the meta currency in the game. These are included in the starter set box now. UV logos, a little upgrade to the covers of the books. Cool. Kin cards. These are little rules reference cards for each of the kin. Kokoro. These will be a set of tables to randomly generate little mysterious creatures here that pop up around the world. These look like they would be a lot of fun to draw, actually. Although I wish I could draw half as well as Daniela. Solo mode. Okay, this is a big one for some people. Rules for playing this game single player. It's kind of a big deal in this particular case, actually, because Zelda games and JRPGs were always one player. That was the default for decades. And even to this day, all major Zelda titles are single player. So it would make sense to at least include the option for solo play with this game. Now, how well they implement the solo play oracles and adapt the mechanics to facilitate solo play remains to be seen, but it will be a PDF included for all backers. One new pre-gen. There's an archer dude on the character sheet here, maybe a Huma. Soundtrack. This is very cool. With game soundtracks, I sort of prefer longer, more ambient soundscapes that don't have any real loud moments. That way I can just play it in the background continuously. Maybe one fight song and a boss song. I should actually do a whole video about how to make a good TTRPG soundtrack. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Cheat sheet. That's great. Every game should have one. A new way, the way of the shield. This illustration is giving me some cognitive dissonance though, because that's traditionally the face of a black mage from early Final Fantasy, but it's on the body of what essentially looks like Dirk the Daring from Dragon's Lair. Anyway, you get more character options here, which is always good. Feat cards. 50 more feat cards added to every card chest. This one makes me wonder if they planned this all along. The card chest was already supposed to contain over 200 cards in a form factor of about 4.5 inches cubed. So I don't know how they were able to add this many cards into that box without running out of room. But whatever, it's a lot of really handy rules reference cards, perfect for casual play where people don't want to write anything down. Stamina gems. So this is in reference to a mechanic that I'm not familiar with, but my guess would be that some abilities require spending stamina points, and the easiest way to track them, since you're spending and reacquiring them constantly, is to just have physical tokens at the table. Bonus points for these counters looking like rupees or something right out of Zelda. Alchemy VTT, free for all backers. Alchemy is one of the more slick, modern virtual tabletops out there right now, so it might be the way to play if you're stuck doing it online. Radia dice set. Yellow dice for the top 2 tiers. The mock-up for these look nice. My main hope with these is that they err on the side of darker for the gold or yellow that they're using, so that the white numbers and symbols are easy enough to read. Contrast is the number one most important element for dice. Embossing, it looks like an upgrade to the slipcases where there will be some raised elements. The Grota, this is the 7th playable kin for the game. Apparently, I'm cool with that. I'd actually prefer frog folk over cat folk personally, so this is good. Spell cards. Looks like there will be even more cards added to the card chest, but I don't know how many. This is actually getting to the point where I'm wondering how much of a character will be optionally driven by cards as opposed to stuff you write down on a character sheet. Cooking recipes. Wow, you know, this is actually the 3rd time I've seen Italian game designers add recipes to their game. The first time was Wilder Feast, then in Broncolonia, and now here. I've never done it before myself, but I imagine preparing a meal from these recipes and serving it while playing this game could really transport the table to an incredible new level of immersion. Champion Journal. This is a booklet of blank character sheets available to the top 2 reward tiers. These look handy. Looks like there might be another pre-gen on the way. A Strix from the look of it with some Wolverine claws or throwing knives or something. And finally, the big, ultimately most important stretch goal of all, the one that could radically extend the product life of this game as well as its replayability, and that is the third-party license. With a third-party license, we wouldn't have to wait on Two Little Mice to publish new content for this game. Instead, we could go to a marketplace where fans and other contributors would be selling and giving away rules expansions, adventures, and everything in between, so that in the end, Twilight Sword could end up as a living RPG, growing into something possibly bigger and more interesting than the creators ever imagined. And that's saying a lot because they've imagined something pretty cool here. So was Twilight Sword worth the second look here? Yeah, I think so. When I first covered this, I saw a charming, lightweight homage to Zelda, but now with the solo mode unlocked and the floodgates probably opening for community content, it's starting to feel like a robust toolkit for some very thematic, nostalgic roleplay. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this project and all these stretch goals. Remember to like and subscribe for more RPG reviews, and join the channel as a member for exclusive videos and content. Links for everything are below. I'll see you in the next one.